This is the best podcast on the planet.
Play more Foos.
Play more Foos.
Play more Foos.
Play more Foos.
Play more food.
Play more Foos.
Play more food.
Play more Foos.
Play more Foos.
Play more Foos.
Play more food.
Play more Foos.
You know what Bennett Schiller says? Play more food.
Play more Foos.
Play more Foos.
Jugar más Foos.
Alright, hey everybody, this is Josh, your host of Play More Foos. The way this episode is going to go is I have concert footage from when I saw Kid Cudi that I'm gonna play for you probably right after this, and then I have just a little bit of just me talking about whatever's been going on, and then at the end I'll have the podcast I did with Brian, Lance, Lewis, and Jake, which that'll probably make up the whole episode, and I think that's about it. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching as always. Like and sub, and thank you.
This is a classic. Till I get good and shit. So sing along with the feel it, baby. Yeah. We're gonna do something on the new album. Let's get into it, yeah. Oh shit!
That was my Kid Cudi concert experience. I didn't record a ton because I'd rather watch it than watch it through my phone. So I didn't have a ton of footage, but from what I had, I hope that was entertaining. I had a really good time. The concert started at 9. We got there a little before 7 so we could get good spots. We got a pretty good starting spot, and then we waited there for about 2 hours for the concert to start, and then once it started, it was just like a fight to get to the front, and I made it to about as far as you could go. I got to like the bar that separated us from the stage, and at one point, Cudi got down and started walking through the crowd, and I touched his shoulder, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty dope. Yeah, we talk about Kid Cudi in. You will be hearing us talk about Kid Cudi in a little bit with everybody who's on the podcast. But I'm a big fan of his, especially his earlier work, and I did like his new album. So seeing him did mean a lot, and that was a lot of fun. I'm also going to be starting a new segment this week, where I kind of just recap things about things that I kind of found in the last week that I enjoyed and have been enjoying. That I enjoyed this week. So, starting off in the music category, I've been listening to a lot of Blink 182. I wouldn't say a lot, but I've been listening to some of their hits, and I do like that quite a bit. So, that's fun. I'm also 16, so I haven't heard everything there's to be heard, seen everything there's to be seen by a long shot, so if any of this is redundant, I apologize, because I know Blink 182 is a pretty established band, but I'm kind of just getting into them now. I also saw Murder on the Orient Express. I've been looking forward to this one for a really, really long time, because I love the genre of murder mystery and all that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the movie Clue, and of course The Hateful Eight, Tarantino. I did like this one quite a bit, despite a lot of negative reviews. A lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it a lot, and I think it was because of how much I like, the genre. But, if you're a fan of the genre, I would definitely check it out. But if not, I would still, because it's a pretty good movie. I liked it a lot. A lot of people found it to be slow, but I feel if you're invested in the story, you won't find it to be too slow. Another thing I want to touch on that we did touch on in the podcast that you'll hear in a minute, but some of the recent scandals going on, especially with Louis C.K., I just wanted to talk about. I've been a big fan of comedy for a long time, and I've been a big fan of his for a long time, so hearing all this stuff recently is been a real downer, and it's been a real bummer for me. And I know that there's a ton of people that love and worship him, and I know that they all probably feel just as bad, but I don't know, it's a weird feeling to know that someone you've looked up to for so long did things like this. I was very much looking forward to seeing his new movie called I Love You Daddy, but it's now being shelved because of all this, but it's also kind of a bummer because I still do want to see it because it did interest me in the trailers. But yeah, it's just kind of awful, all this stuff going around. Bryan Singer, who's a great director of X-Men, X-Men 2, and then X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men Apocalypse, as well as The Usual Suspects. He's also getting a lot of allegations, as well as Kevin Spacey, which is also a big one for me. So yeah, it's a rough time in Hollywood right now. Let's see. Let's talk about some more lighthearted things. Black Friday's coming up. Very excited for Black Friday. Gotta max on those deals if you know what I mean. Get in on the deals. Get in on the deals. Sorry, I'm in a really weird mood. It's early. Yeah, very excited for that. Much more excited than Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving's kind of cool, but it's kind of a chore to be around all your family members. Oh, hey, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a year, but I'm gonna ask you about your week. It's just kind of meh to me, but good food. But I'm gonna now I can drive. Now it's the first year I can drive during Black Friday, and the first year that I'm really equipped to go with money and a plan. So I'm gonna eat my turkey, and I'm gonna be like, all right, thanks, Grandpa, but I'm out. I'm gonna skirt on over down to the old Best Buy and get in line. All right. Before I wrap up, if I could take a moment to just be sincere and tell you I really appreciate everybody who's listening and watching. It means a lot. I really enjoy doing this, although I'm not great at it yet. I want to, grow and be able to do better. And I just really like to create. And now that I sort of have made this outlet for it, it's a lot of fun for me. And and it's all for you guys. So thank you so much for listening and sharing, subscribing. All of you guys it means a lot from each and every one of you, so thank you a lot. But I think that's about it. Thank you so much as always for watching and listening, and now you'll hear the real podcast with all the boys. But all right, thanks for listening to just me for a little bit, and here we go. Thank you. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to Play More Foos. I'm here with Jake.
Foos. Shut up.
I'm here with Jake, Lewis, Lance, and Brian.
Yeah.
Let's get it going.
just like growled into the mic.
Let's get into it.
All right. What's up?
What's up, Lance?
First topic.
What's going on with Lance Wright?
Nothing much. Went to a concert this weekend.
Who'd you
this
see?
week.
And
Kid
who'd you
Cudi-
go with?
Kid Cudi. I went with you and a couple of other good friends, and yeah, some other friends there. It was pretty good.
It definitely was. What does everybody think of Kid Cudi as an artist, Lewis?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't listened to much of his music, but what I have listened to, I've really enjoyed. I'm really trying to get into him, as an artist. As a
Gotcha.
person.
Wake Jills?
One of the greatest of our generation.
Oh,
I don't think there's anything else to be said.
damn.
Take a look at the numbers. I mean,
But
top sold.
I don't think he's the top.
No, he's definitely not. But
He is
really
extremely underrated.
good. Yeah, he's really underrated.
You guys heard of Lil Xan?
I have heard of
Lil
Little Xan.
Lil Xan. Oh,
Lil
he
Xan.
Lil
tops
Xan.
the charts.
He
No doubt.
He tops the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Head ass. Because he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BTK.
BTK?
Definitely underrated. I would
Yeah,
say.
I
How many people know him?
I would concur.
I know what you're gonna say.
I would concur.
What's up?
I like Scott. Scott's a nice guy.
Scott Mescudi.
He made some great starting albums. Then there's Speedy Bolt to Heaven. And there was King Wizard, which is a little bit questionable. But I liked when
Once
he-
Kid Cudi wanted
was
to
not
be
a
Kurt
fan of-
Cobain.
I wasn't really a fan of Satellite Flight either.
Yeah, I didn't.
That one didn't really get me there, but
I like
you
it
know.
when he talks about him being in his room. So
I mean, obviously though, the first ones were pretty great. Indicudi was amazing.
Indicud.
Yeah, well, Indicud.
It's good.
Man on the Moon.
Descent.
Maui Wowie. Shout out to Maui Wowie.
And Dash and Pain and Demon Slaying was pretty good.
Yep,
So
it's
it
a
was-
solid comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. All right.
Yeah. What would you say your favorite song is, Josh? From Kid Cudi.
Probably Erase Me.
Why go in depth?
I don't know. I just think it sounds cool, and I like the video a lot. Lance?
I would probably have to say Immortal. It's a very empowering song.
You're smiling, motherfucker.
Yeah. Brian, do you have a
I
favorite?
like it when he imitated Kurt Cobain. No, just kidding. Nobody did. I like, I like Kitchen off his new album. The
Can't
song
stand the heat of my
I
love.
don't know. I like a lot of songs of his.
I also am a big fan of Rebel Bev. I like the beat of it. It's very good.
Okay, Lewis, I'm gonna bring this up, and I want you to say exactly what you said previously. Okay, let's talk about the recent
Wait, whoa,
Louis
whoa, whoa.
C.K.
Just
What?
wanted to give a quick shout out to Shaker Heights.
Go back.
I wanted to say,
Kid Cudi's high school.
Everybody who's listening to this, you must watch Kid Cudi's TED Talk. Please watch Scott Mescady's TED Talk at his
What's
high
it?
school.
Yeah, it's Ad Shaker.
It's at Shaker Heights. So if you're a sad kid in your room and you like music, watch this TED Talk.
Shaker Heights.
Okay.
Okay, onto a more depressing topic. Louis C.K. and the not rape allegations, but sexual indecency allegations. Lewis,
Yeah.
what do you have to say on the topic?
He molested many young souls. It's sad.
Many young souls.
It's sad.
There you have it. I don't think he molested anyone, actually.
Whipping your dick out it's a form of molesting, right?
No.
Oh,
Flashing?
is molesting? Oh yeah, flashing. But molesting, you gotta touch them, right?
What are
By some standards.
And
Do we know the,
naughty places,
like-
bad touches?
do we know the like for certain like
Well, he
what he
admitted
did?
it. He admitted that he would pretty much he would be like, "Can I show you my dick?" And then he'd
Really?
be like, "I guess," and then he'd do it, and he'd be like, "All right," and that would be it.
Really?
Yeah.
So he just wanted to like spread his
Yeah, why?
genitals to the world.
Yeah. I don't know why, but
That's
that's
really
just what he
weird.
was about.
Well, Louis C.K. lost a little
At least he's fine.
value in my.
At least
in my
it's
book.
funny, yeah.
When I start.
Oh, shout out to Miss Sampson. If you're watching this episode, thanks for watching, and feel free to come on the podcast if you want to.
Trump is in a tour of Asia right now. Does anybody have any thoughts?
I don't really follow politics. I must say that is
Mm-mm.
one of my least favorite things about this world.
It's politics. Huh?
Yeah, it just does not interest me that much. It's, obviously, it's very impactful on my life, but I never really pay attention to it.
That's good.
Yeah.
When something is a big part of your life and you
Well, I mean,
Say
give it no
no.
interest.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the reason that this podcast is called Play More Foos was because a friend of ours named Lauren. When we were at a party, our friend named Lauren, me and Bennett, who's been on the podcast before, also known as B Swag Shilltown, was talking about our friend who does not play foosball anymore. And on the podcast, we wanted her to tell him to play more foos. And then when I heard her say it, I knew we'd struck gold. And I did not shout her out in the last podcast, which she was not happy about. So, shout out to Lauren for giving us the title of the podcast. The Wolf of Wall Street. It's Leonardo DiCaprio's birthday, and me and Jake Wills are watching it. So, what does everybody think? Lewis?
I think it's a good movie. I think it's a good movie.
I think it's pretty funny.
Solid. Lance?
Funny.
Lance
Yeah,
thinks
I think
it's
it's
funny.
Brian?
I have not seen it.
Oh yeah, true. Jake?
So if you're learning how to make a film, this is the film
This
that you need
is
to
the
see
starter.
because it's just a great movie. I mean, it combines everything. Long as hell too.
Well said. Well said.
Writing fantastic.
It's also
We got
Leonardo
cheated out of
DiCaprio's
an
birthday.
Oscar.
Leonardo DiCaprio, shout out, happy birthday. Feel free to come on the podcast if you want to.
I love Leonardo DiCaprio.
Dude, who doesn't?
Yeah,
Isn't
no,
he
he's
just he just
such
seems
a
like
good
such a
guy.
cool guy.
And, it sucks that he hasn't won many Oscars because he's been in
Yeah.
so many great films.
Cheated.
Although, so far, no one's saying that he raped anyone, so
Well,
that's good.
for
That's
him.
always
Yep.
good.
Has
Good-
he
Hey, Leonardo DiCaprio, way to not rape anyone. Call of Duty World War II came out recently. Brian, you got any thoughts?
Seems like a fun game. I like it.
Lewis?
I like it a lot. I haven't spent enough time on it to get good.
Get
But,
good.
You know.
I
haven't
played it once. I
gotten
went 3 and 14. So
Yeah, it's
Lance
definitely.
was,
there's room
ripping,
to-
Lance was ripping and tearing it apart
Yeah,
before
there
you guys
was-
got here.
yeah, there was room to improve, but
Yeah,
obviously that's good.
I'll have games where I'll go like 25 and 5, and then I'll have games where I go like 5 and 25. It just completely flips.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I know how you feel.
It's kind of ridiculous.
You're right.
Jake was tearing it up. Huh?
Yeah, Jake was ripping
Yeah, I've played the game for about a solid 20 minutes.
it. Yeah, wow.
But yeah, it seems pretty
There's a lot
fun
of potential
from what I've
in
seen.
Oh, also, tonight we'll be playing a game called Hidden Agenda, which is like a... Oh, Hayden's streaming again. Chaz the Spaz reaction stream with H-Dan. Oh, we're playing Hidden Agenda, which is a game by... I don't remember.
Makers of Until Dawn.
Yep, the makers of Until Dawn, which maybe if it's decent, we'll talk about it afterwards. But I'm feeling pretty damn unmotivated currently.
Until Dawn was pretty good. So
Until Dawn was good.
can expect a pretty good when I think out of this.
Yeah, I'm excited. Quite excited. All right, now is when we pick up. Lewis has a story for everybody. Make sure you lean in so the mic can get you.
All right, I've never told this story because I just found out about what happened, just like a couple hours ago. But so, as many of you know, and if you don't know, I run track. All right.
It's like the fastest white person in our state of Wisconsin.
That's a fact.
That's not even incorrect.
Actually, in the nation.
In the nation.
If you didn't know that. But anyways, I run for a team.
Can you say the Mustangs because location-wise?
Yeah. Run for the team, the Mustangs. Anyways, I met a lot of people along the way, and last year I met this guy named Cornelius. He goes to the same school that my cousins go to, and they have, they're not friends with him, but they've definitely run into him a couple times. They know who he is. He's a great guy. He's really fun. He's really nice. He's awesome. Anyways, so my cousin's at the library studying and whatnot, because she's a nerd. And then...
Loser!
Who else walks in but Corn? Now,
Corn?
Yeah, that's his nickname. Corn. And, the first thing he says is, "Hey, y'all got some quarters?" And,
Sadiq.
He asked my cousin that, and my cousin goes, "Oh, hey, Cornelius. Oh, do you know my cousin named Lewis?" And he goes, "Hewis?" Yeah, basically that was it. And so now apparently I'm called Hewis.
Hewis? Or just Hewis?
Yeah, so I've never heard that before. He's never even called me that. But, apparently that's my name, so there we go. That's where the word Hewis originated from.
That's one word. That's one word?
Yeah, it's
Hewis?
like it's hyphened. It's like Hewis. Hewis.
Okay, after the origin story of Hewis, we got another banger of a story from Jake Wills over here. Take it away.
Why would you say my last name?
Because you're here and consenting.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I obviously go to a different school than these guys, and
obviously,
it's a private school, only about 80 kids a class, so things are a little different. It's a little more focused on academics, so everyone's kind of a nerd, you may say. And the things I hear people say from public schools is just like, I can't believe that kind of stuff happens. But I've got a terrible story, something horrible that happened at our school too. So this kid named Jack walks into history class, and every Mondays we have to dress up in ties, and he's not wearing a tie. And we're all just kind of like, all right, fine, do whatever you want. And then the teacher goes like, "Son, where's your tie?" And the kid goes like, "I'm not wearing a tie." And he was like, "Do you not have one?" He's like, "Nope." And he's like, "Don't worry, I can get you one." So he gets one out from the closet or I don't know where. And he starts to put it on him, and he's like, "No, you cannot put this tie on me." And and he's like, "Why not?" He's like, "'Cause I'm not going to wear it." And everyone's
rebellion.
like, "Oh my God," because nothing ever bad happens at this school. And so what happened was he was like, "I'm not gonna put the tie on," and he was like, "Well, you can either put the tie on or go to the principal's office." And dude slams down his folders and everything and walks to the principal's office, and we were all like, "Oh my God!" That was insane. So that's the worst story.
The worst story of
that's
Rick
probably
Academy.
Holy shit! That is
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
BA is a tough school.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
You gotta be.
You gotta wear your ties.
Wear your ties.
If you don't wear your tie, you're gonna do the time. And he did.
Gonna do time.
He did the time. He had to come in on a Saturday for a detention.
Shit.
Breakfast club.
I like it.
Yeah.
You also order food.
Speaking of ordering food,
the pizza's here.
All right, so I have a question. Does this student still go to the school?
Yeah, this was obviously a huge thing. So
obviously
this was about a month before school ended, I think, and he did not show up for the rest of school, I'm pretty sure. And this kid is very rich. Like, he's one of the wealthiest kids in Wisconsin. And, like, he paid the school, like, to not have to take exams, so, like, he didn't have to come back. And he was signed up to go to another school, and then out of nowhere, during the summer, dude just comes back.
Does
And, like,
he wear ties? No?
yeah.
He came
I
back
think
during the
he's
summer?
learned his ways, yeah.
So basically, he's a rich brat.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
most of the kids. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how he pulled that off, but
That would suck to go to school with all those people.
yeah, no, it really does.
So the pizza delivery guy was like fucking scary. Like when I got out there, his back was turned to me, and I was like, "Oh, hello," and then he like turned his head, and he was like, "Hey," he like turned back around, he's like, "It's 45 even," and I gave him like what I thought was $50, but I gave him 40. And then he like knocked on the door again. And he's like, "This is 40." He like leaned into me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I gave him 10 more. Get out of here. Lance, control yourself.
Oh, this one.
All right. Thanks to everybody for listening to episode 4 of Play More Foos. It's yet the episode's still untitled, but thank you to everybody for coming on, and promise
Welcome.
we'll make this shit better for next time.
Adios.
Bye, everybody.
Peace out.